One, okay.
Normal's best balance.
This is GDSA's GameCon Post-Show. Right now, we are playing our first year game called Beat 'em Up by Douglas. But I think Hyder has something to say.
Woo! Yeah.
Move down a bit.
All right, real quick. Thanks, guys. I just want to say it's been a great year being president. I've had a good time. We had some great events. President of the GDSA. I heard someone say know what it was about. But I am outie soon. So we got a new president for next year. And I want to say a big congratulations to my good friend, Lucas, as next year's GDSA president. Let's give it up for Lucas. Yeah, well, what? Come on up. Hopefully he's excited about being president next year, and maybe he has a few words to say about it. You're going to be in a second.
Oh, I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Hyder here with our current president. It's been a great year working with this team, and I'm hopeful that you said it, not me.
I think it's pretty funny. It's a funny way to put it, but yeah.
I'm excited to work with the team next year and do a good GameCon next year. Better than the one this year, because this one sucked.
Dude,
you suck.
Dude, this GameCon will never be beat, guys. And you know why? It's because all you guys won. Yeah. And there's no guarantee that you guys are gonna win next year. And so it's probably not gonna be better this year, right? Yeah, Lucas, have a tough one.
It happens.
Following this one out,
yeah.
Okay?
Well,
he's gonna convince everyone to pick the exact same winners. He's gonna be like, all right, we need all these guys to win and get even more awards. He's gonna have the first years from last year win first year again this year.
I'm going for it.
All right, that's it from us.
Okay. Well, Douglas, first I gotta ask,
Low energy crowd, guys.
why did you name yourself Douglas? That's my first question.
Okay, so essentially we started out as like a bunch of different groups, and then there was a group called Doug. So then we joined forces with Doug, and then we became Douglas.
Ooh, shit, that's like genius, honestly. You know? Well,
I guess so.
I think it's smart. I think it's kind of funny. But let's get to the gaming. Why'd you make this game? Why?
So basically, okay. So I kind of started it as a pitch to the team over the Christmas break. I went home over the Christmas break and I played Jet Set Radio, if you know what that is. And I was like, I think I know this kind of style of game where it just has like this very, it's confident in itself and like all of its music and aesthetics. And I'm just like, hey guys, what if we made a beat 'em up? Because I was listening to the music specifically and I'm like, what if we kind of did Hi-Fi Rush, but like with this kind of style of aesthetic? And then we were like, okay, it's 2D, it's a beat 'em up. Call it beat 'em up. Emphasize the beat.
Real.
So yeah.
So, another question I have is the mix between 3D and 2D. What inspired that?
So basically, that was more so like a technical constraint. Oh, mouse support is only for the controller support does not happen for the UI yet. That we've patched that in since. But so no, it was we were looking. Okay, beat 'em ups, they always have like a Z axis, right? So we could leverage Unity's 3D engine to get the Z-axis gameplay going, like really easy. And then we could also hinge off of that real-time lighting, physics, just a whole bunch of other things like nav mesh. So we're like, great, we're in a 3D engine now, but we're making a functionally 2D game.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was more so as the project progressed, we were just like, wait a minute, having 3D in a 2D space is just really cool.
Yeah.
Let's just play with it. And that's where you get a lot of like the camera angle switching, where that came from. A lot of the physics interactions, there was like Andrew did a clutter pass like last moment, and now we just have a bunch of physics objects that you can just punch around the scene. It's just fun experimentation like that was like a big driving factor for this project.
When I was playing the game, it was there was a you could brain. There was like a shipping container that you couldn't really get up. But when you basically took this not cardboard, but this wooden box, you were able to move it. I thought it was like pretty interesting how you how you can manipulate these 3D objects as a 2D looking character. And also, I think the sounds are pretty good. The music. Who's your music composer? If you'd like to speak on what you did for that.
That's this guy.
Well, I'm only one half of the team. It's me and Aiden Damasio, and we sort of just worked on the music together throughout the whole course of the game because we knew it was going to be important. We were just inspired by each genre. We tried to look into what made that genre what it is and imitate that as best as we could, which was hard at times, but, you know, we got through it.
It's good. It's good. So, right now, Ridger's just. Okay. Oh,
Made
so
manslaughter.
I was looking at the stream screen, not your actual screen. But, Ridger, how are you enjoying the game? You enjoying the game?
You know, I'm very much an enjoyer of going on the streets and beating people up to a musical rhythm. Honestly, one of my favorite pastime hobbies.
So you'd commit, physical assault.
Musical assault.
Ooh. Okay, go solo mode.
How to do that?
It's a trigger. Your second year. You weren't disqualified from reviewing this game. But, the 3D objects. Like, I look at it and it looks 2D.
Well, that's because everything's rendered in orthographic, but it's technically all 3D objects. So a lot of the assets are voxel art, but the way that they're scaled and everything, they're set up that the camera will always render them as if they're kind of 2D. The only thing giving it away really is the dynamic shadows.
Yeah.
But if you took those away, I think the image, because there's obviously no scale in an orthographic view, it would look very 2D. It was more so because we did a 3D environment to kind of cut down on level design time. Because imagine, you'd have to create individual scenes for each different street in a classic beat 'em up. So it's like, wait a minute. We could just do one big 3D scene where everything's all interconnected and seamless. There's no transitions really outside of just swizzling the camera around. So, yeah, there was a need for the 3D models to support that kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Pretty good game. You have anything more to say, Ridger? You're the one playing it.
I'm just enjoying my time, I'm locked in, focusing.
You're locked in?
Yeah.
Really locked in?
Yeah, I'm trying to beat up people.
Okay, did you finish the level?
No.
No? Then finish the level. I'd like to see, I unfortunately, in the review process, only played a few minutes so we could get through them, but I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, gaming. I'm actually not much of a talker.
Just protect.
I'm a yapper. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Specifically, why did you choose these three specific genres that you chose for the game? There was like a whole variety that you could have chosen, but you specifically chose like disco, swing, and what was the last one? Jazz?
Hip hop. So there was
Hip-hop.
swing jazz, hip hop, and disco. I guess it was more so like we just looked at funk as like an overarching theme. Where like funk is cool, and then these genres. You guys were like, let's do these genres because fun, and then it just kind of worked out from there.
You're only getting okays? I thought you were the rhythm person.
Okay.
Okay, I want to play the game. I don't want to talk. I want to play rhythm.
Okay, now you're just being a bit mean there, buddy.
I am mean.
What was it like balancing the difficulty?
So balancing the difficulty, we've noticed that this game is kind of easy. But we do have different difficulty options, and a lot of it was we had this like really bad dominant strategy until like the last minute where if you would just jump kick, you would just win the game, pretty much. So it was just we kind of had to get rid of that. We had to make all of the different attacks have their own niches, and then scale. And enemies are all like everything is based off of scriptable objects that we have in the background, one for each difficulty. So it was just kind of toying with those, just like, okay, load into normal. What does normal feel like? Great. Tweak the values. All right, load into hard. What does hard feel like? Tweak the values. And in all of the difficulties higher than normal, the player can like actually miss beats. So in normal and easy, you can't actually miss a beat. It'll just cue your attack to the next beat if you miss it. But on hard, like there's a beat indicator system. You'll see that it'll go red before the next interval starts, and like if you miss an attack, you're gonna like the character will start sweating and everything, like and they can't attack anymore. So there's like a cooldown. But Balancing for difficulty was more so just iterating. Just pop it in, see what it feels like, iterate again, pop it in, iterate again.
So, obviously, I know my team tried the billboarding with making our first game, but how did you do the sprite art? And how did you integrate that into the 3D environment?
So do you want to talk about it too?
Sorry. So here's basically a 2.5D game because you have the sprites on top of the 3D art. So how did you do that, and how did you implement like the sprites? And how did you draw the sprites?
Ethan gave me and Aiden Demasio were the two artists for the game. He gave us like a really good base point for the kind of aesthetic that he wanted for the game. So character design went really easy, and we knew we wanted to do pixel art for this one. So we designed the characters around that. I did the main character first, and then based off of like her proportions and how her movement and everything felt in game, we did tweak some stuff, and then we designed the enemies kind of with her as the main reference. And then Ethan and Andrew both implemented the main character and the enemies actually in game. So yeah,
Pretty good. What else can we talk about, Ridger?
I'm just enjoying my time here.
You enjoying your time?
Yeah.
It's
You
good.
enjoying your time? That's good.
Great.
That's pretty good. Is there anything you guys want to talk about the game that we haven't already addressed?
Nothing in particular, really.
Let's see if Ridger can finish this level. But
I got thrown off the stairs.
you got thrown off the stairs?
Yeah,
I
I
think
was like up there and got thrown all the way back there.
Ridger, get back up there, son.
You're just saying, okay, so that's
But
easy.
the game's
okay.
pretty enjoyable. I really enjoyed it when I played.
Thank
and,
you.
It's very
appreciated.
interesting and fascinating how you did, basically the 2.5. Your first year, so in fourth year we were like, oh, okay, let's try this for one of our games, and we were like, okay, maybe it's kind of Jover. Maybe we actually aren't. Well, my team is more 2D anyways,
Right.
so we're like, maybe we don't do this. But I think you've implemented it, especially in 4 months. You've implemented it very well.
Thank you. It's something that you have to specify very early on. We're going to do this, right from the get-go, and then just really commit to it, because I couldn't imagine trying to reverse all these systems down into just a solid 2D game, where it's everything's very much built for this kind of a thing. So you need to establish early on, this is the design goal, achieve this, kind of.
And I feel like you've achieved it. Good job.
Thank you.
I guess thank you for being here for this post GameCon part of
No
first
problem.
year.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
All right, now we're here for our best sound winners, Chaos Fury with their game Occupational Hazards. Can you explain the game a little bit for those that might not be aware of it?
All right, so basically you're an employee at a company called Stellar United Systems, and your goal is to basically just restore power to the ship, and the company doesn't tell you that there's also a monster on the ship, so you just have to, go through, power up, and then you just Uh-oh, monster.
All right. Okay, let's get the important question out of the way. How much are you getting paid for being on the ship?
Millions and millions of dollars.
You're not.
No.
No.
No, you're like
Not at
barely
all.
getting by. They're like basically getting little to like none. And you have to pay for like your own like escape pod and everything.
That's not very fair.
No, the company doesn't care.
How is this game? How is this company profitable?
Anyways.
By not paying you, they make money.
Exactly.
I see now. Now why is this not opening?
Capitalism.
By the way, guys, if anyone else in the audience has questions about the games, because, I mean, cool games, if you have anything you want to ask the developers, I mean, feel free to chime in.
So where did this idea first come about? We've seen like a bunch of Anyways, we've seen a bunch of like more popular games that follow a similar ideology or like thematic. Did you follow it, or was the twist that you guys came up with?
So I thought like when I thought of the idea, I was thinking like, because I was over the summer I was like really into Phasmophobia, and and then I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to make a thing where you like identify the monster and like kind of just have to deal with it, but you're not able to like fight against it. So I wanted it to be like half Phasmophobia, where you're like exploring and kind of have to understand what's going on. And then when the monster's chasing you, it kind of turns into like a Dead by Daylight, like where you're just running away and you have to just get away from it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. To follow up with that question, how long do you think till Deedon dies?
I don't know. I'd give it like 5, maybe 10 minutes.
All right, you got that's the time to me. 5 minutes. Let's go, Dean. Start the clock.
I'm locking in.
But you won like best sound. Can you explain how like sound is important to your game, how you incorporated it, and like how were the sound effects made?
Oh, so most of the sounds were made. I used Audacity to record them, like filter whatnot, and then I also used Fmod to like kind of get like the spatial sound, add like a little reverb and whatnot to it, and it just made it sound very scary. It was great. At some point, I also ended up using an audio plugin called Krotos, and that just made it like my sound quality go from like here to like here. And I was like really happy with how they turned out.
I think he's dying. Oh no.
It's okay. I'm
No longer dying anymore.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay.
How many different creatures are in your game?
So we have 3 creatures.
I'm gonna fucking
you
die.
can get a mole rat. You can get this weird shadowy guy. We like to call him Funny Guy.
That's the canon name.
Yes.
Okay.
We're making it the canon name. And then you got a big crocodile.
I am terrified.
All right, Dean here is shitting his pants. Like, personally, which one was the most fun for you guys to work on? Like in terms of the monsters. and
Funny
why?
Guy.
Funny guy. Okay.
Yeah, because he has like a whole he has like a particle effect around him made by Mabel. It was awesome. Looks really sick. And
Yo, Dean,
and
runs
then
funny guy.
there's also
I don't want to run into funny guys.
I hope you run and then there's like he has this like little like ambient sound that like kind of follows him like everywhere. So like if you just start hearing that ambient sound, you know it's him and he's just coming for you. It's great.
I'm on the edge of my seat, man.
You're really not though.
Please. Okay.
Oh, turn on. All right.
Stop flickering, please. I can't see shit.
Do you have like pre-recorded events, or like how do you get the lights to flicker, or how does that general ambience work together?
So the lights flickering, it's just
hell no.
every light in the game
I'm out of here.
is attached to the same material, which basically is just set to go on and off, which also updates with the reflection probes to get like the hallways to light up alongside the lights.
That's
Please. Oh, wait,
It's
is
really,
this-
it really adds to ambience, those little things, and
Oh, shit,
also
look at me. I'm anti-gravity. Yay!
he's enjoying the anti-gravity a bit too much. Would be a shame if a funny guy.
Shut up. Shut up. Shit ain't happening. Not today.
Bro, you're dying.
Oh shit! I forgot. Oh, that's not good. That's not very good.
Uh-oh.
Come here.
Yeah, I have oxygen. You need to go find an oxygen
Oh
station.
shit! Come on.
Wow, Dean here is choking himself out.
Please. Oh no, I'm fucked. I threw the game.
All right, not even 5 minutes.
I didn't even run into a
That's really
monster,
funny.
man. I'm ass.
We can
Please.
see that.
Please. It's right there. Wait, I'm fuck stupid. Hello? No!
All right. I think we have a little bit more to talk about. So Dean, go again.
Oh, a bet. Okay.
I don't get a chance.
No.
No?
No.
He needs to redeem himself. He died within like what, 3-4 minutes?
You can play Outreach.
But yeah. What was like everyone's favorite parts to work on? Like this game seems.
I think my favorite part was, well, the sounds. The sounds were really fun to do. I also, like, closer to the end of development, I ended up making, like, even more ambient sounds, and then I just applied them to, like, specific rooms. And it's like I don't know, like, little things like that I just love doing. It's very fun.
My favorite part, probably either the voice lines at the beginning. I had a lot of fun recording, and then either that or just getting all the lighting effects in and the particles.
I really like the texture of everything. I made the texture for a lot of like the furniture and the objects, and sadly some of them couldn't make it in because of time. But like I'm really proud of like the TV screen. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, the TV
They
screen is
added
amazing.
like this
Cool.
this really cool effect to it. But yeah.
You know, this part's pretty important. It's pretty.
Bro, I can't go in. I'm just waiting for Marv to finish. Please, open my door.
You know that part's pretty important. You're kind of dying there.
Okay. I forgot. Get me up. All right, let's go.
But all right,
Let's not die at the beginning.
I believe.
you believe in it.
No. Don't jump
All
scare
right,
me.
we're waiting for him to just get jump scared at this point.
No, please.
Like we're
It's
missing the immersion of watching.
Please, calm down.
It's really funny watching people play the game.
Yeah, my favorite
I
thing.
just can't stop laughing.
Oh, fuck
He
that
doesn't-
alligator.
He doesn't even have the audio on, so he doesn't.
I don't
even
want the
hear
audio.
It's the game for sound, bro. You need the audio.
No, I'm
Do they have
good.
audio at home?
What?
No? Well,
Why is this room empty?
we missed out on
What is this?
award-winning sound. So wait,
Man.
how many monsters did you guys? Was it always 3? Was the plan, or did you have plans for more?
Actually, I think we did have plans for 3, and we ended up getting 3 in.
Yeah.
So it actually worked
Nice.
out perfectly.
How are they different?
So
I'm
one of
back
them,
there.
one of them is able to like see with like what's called with sight. One can hear by sound, and then one can be both.
What's
and
the tall goblin creature? The
Funny man.
the funny guy.
funny guy runs at Mach 7. It was by the way,
It's
we lied during the GameCon live stream. It wasn't Lucas who got scared by that. It was me. It scared the shit out of me, dude. I was,
It was
like,
so-
I genuinely,
so
I was
good.
expecting. I was like, yeah, we got short, stout, like buff boys. They're gonna be the ones to worry about. And then
You're
he
dying.
just comes screaming
No,
down
I
the
just refilled
hallway,
oxygen. Shut up.
and I freak out. And I don't
Did
know.
you see
Okay,
something?
so what? He's both.
Shut up, Bridger.
Yeah.
Shut up, Bridger.
Okay. His turning radius
Yo, check out the
sucks,
corner
though, so
of
he
that.
just ran
I'm
around
going
yeah.
but
kill
he
you.
scared the fucking piss out of me, dude.
Please.
Just unexpected. Also,
Yeah.
I saw the 3D prints of him too, so I shouldn't have been
Yeah.
surprised. But it just scared the shit out of me. The animation, the running.
Yeah.
Great.
Hello? Anybody? I was already here. Shit. I
So
suck.
you guys had plans for more mechanics as well to do inside of the rooms that you're in, right? What were some of those?
Oh yeah, we wanted to have tasks for just like like
I don't know,
cleaning
it's
up the
not bad,
place
I
or
suck
like
myself.
I don't know, maybe moving a locker and whatnot. And it basically our intention was that we wanted to do like basically extra things to do, so you can have basically extra pay, and then you can like buy more stuff and like
maybe touch the
and
red
basically
bar.
just basically more replayable stuff.
Yeah. You guys run into design challenges, what the difficulty of the monster is versus all the tasks that you had to do?
Illuminate.
You did or no?
Sorry, what's the question?
I feel like, because when I play this game, every time I've tried to run it, I end up dying to the monster before I can do it. But I know you guys have plans for like an economy where you can get more items and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that something you guys found difficulty balancing, or did you not even get that far developed before you had to cut it?
We basically had to cut it
Yeah.
because we were just cutting it way too close.
Yeah.
But if I really wanted to do that,
Alright, cool.
it would have been really fun.
Have you seen the monster yet?
I don't want to.
Dean is literally skirting around the edges.
What the fuck is this?
He's literally just going from the same room back and forth back. Oh, how the hell did he end up here?
I don't know how to. What is a mini map? Okay.
A mini map is something that's pretty useful to know where you are.
Sorry, Bridger. Alright, I'm here. I'm here now. It's okay. I don't know how. Oh, hello? Oh. What the fuck?
yeah.
That's kind of dope. That's kind of cool.
All right, we're going to give Dean some time to either die or run into a monster and then die.
That the fuck? What do you mean? Isn't that the only option? Okay, can I not win the game?
It's possible.
I'm here. So
You
I'm
can definitely win the game.
I'm hearing that it's not possible.
It is possible.
Oh shit, that's on block. Ah shit! Fuck off, please.
You got jumped.
I got jumped. Hello? Hey, what's up, man? Please.
You're dying.
Please.
You're dying.
Not this shit, man. Hello?
He's gone? No,
No.
he's there.
No.
Book it, move it.
I do like the design of the walls. Fuck off.
I don't think it's time to admire the scenery.
Let me admire the scenery. I'm going up. High ground wins, high ground diff. I can't see. You suck. Oh shit. High ground diff. Nav mash. I can't see him. Oh shit! That's not very good.
Hey, you're taking a bit of damage.
No, I'm full health. I don't know.
Oh yeah?
Trust. Please don't tell me I run into like the silly man or something.
Please be the silly man.
Anti-gravity room.
Please.
I win. Trust.
Please be the silly man. It'll be so funny.
Hello.
It'll be so funny.
Hello. I can't see shit. Oh, that sounds good.
Which one was the hardest to like build or like balance around?
Like gameplay wise, or
A bit of both. Development cycle, gameplay wise,
I think I lost it. I think I lost it.
in terms of like just getting it to work, the hardest one. Would you say just the first one, the mole rat? Just because that was like
shit,
also
I'm running
just
out of
setting up
oxygen.
the
Yeah, I
thing.
think so.
Where is it?
Yeah.
There's gotta be one in this room, right? Right.
Yeah, after the mole rat was in, was the framework, and then you could just build up.
Oh,
Exactly,
no. Please.
And he's gonna die to oxygen
dying.
again.
Oh, you got this. You got this.
Yeah, this room.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it,
There's no oxygen here?
there isn't.
No,
This,
dude, big room is the only room with.
I accept death. No, I don't.
It's over.
I think you did, bro.
all right. Thank you very much. This was a really entertaining game. Love watching this guy die.
It was really funny.
Pace action game, and like kind of you feel the intensity of it, and that's kind of like what we were aiming for with this game.
So what's the main mechanic of your game, and what inspired you to make it?
So the main mechanic of our game is you have a sword slash that you can use, and then you're kind of like dodging, and then you have like an ice projectile you can shoot. We just kind of, like I said, we really wanted to make the combat feel really polished. And then in terms of inspiration, Death's Door, that is our biggest inspiration. If you kind of like take a look at that game, you'll see there's a lot of similarities for that game. We kind of wanted to put our own spin on it, but then due to scaling and time issues and stuff like that, we weren't able to get as much as we wanted done in the game. But yeah, it was mostly Death's Door was our inspiration.
That's cool. I've never heard of that story. Do you want to explain it to me?
It's a 3D isometric action adventure game, which is very similar to kind of our description of our game. It's essentially it's a game like about death and like about like, you know, accepting when your death is. It plays very similar to our game here, and then essentially there's like a couple different areas where you need to go kill a couple bosses and then collect their soul, and that's like pretty much it.
Okay.
You're like a Death Reaper.
You said that you aimed for a short, fast action, you know, short pace, quick game to end with a boss fight, right?
Yes,
Do you think you were successful in that approach?
Yes and no. I do think our game is pretty polished. I think it is enjoyable, but there are definitely some issues that we had. Right now, our game is only one area, so it's this like frozen ice area. Initially, we had 5 areas, each with its own like 5 to 6 different enemies, boss fights, like a whole story, and we kind of had to cut a lot of that. We had to cut like 70% of it, just because like we massively overscoped. We lost 2 members in the process of developing the game. We had a lot of issues, so we had to cut back quite a bit. But like I said, I still think we made like a pretty good product. I think it is fun, so it is a success in that sense. But we didn't get as much as we wanted done.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think you made a very consistent game.
Thank you.
In terms of that, do you think there's a lot of variety, or do you think the game gets too repetitive?
I think at times it could definitely get repetitive. During GamesCon, I was kind of just asking people like what they thought about it, and people did say at times it did feel repetitive. In a perfect world, we would have liked to have more enemies, more unique areas, additionally different ways to attack, whether that's like combos, charge attacks, different weapons, that sort of thing, but we weren't able to get it in time.
Okay, that's very valid. Yeah, so what kind of enemies do you have? What kind of boss fight do you have? I've never seen any of this before.
So the enemies, there is like the basic wolf enemy, which is kind of like the tutorial starting enemy. We have like a frozen skeleton who has a couple slash attacks. We have a enemy that just kind of chucks ice projectiles at you. And then outside of that, we have like an undead villager who he kind of has a sword slash and he can shoot like a black hole towards you. And then in a little here, we're going to see there's like a giant boulder enemy.
Okay.
In terms of like our ice ability, like we can see here on the screen, they just kind of use it to cross different water pathways. We wanted to have stuff like that to interact with the environment, so it feels like more fun and there's kind of more stuff to do to interact with the environment. But yeah.
Okay. In a realistic world, in a more realistic scope, and I guess in a perfect world, what do you think your game would look like without any of the hiccups you experienced?
It would definitely have more unique areas. So initially the game was supposed to be centered around the 5 stages of grief, where each world was one of the stages of grief. So this was initially the denial theme, which is like feeling cold, numb, alone. That's kind of why we built it around this sort of ice theme.
That's very
but
interesting.
like the second area we had was the anger theme, so it like took place like inside a volcano. It had a bunch of fiery enemies. Your ability, instead of like an ice projectile, would be like a large fiery punch that could like pretty much one-hit enemies. So in a perfect world, we would have had like our 5 different areas, with each one having, you know, of a boss and then a final boss at the very end of the game, with different, like I said, different mechanics like collectibles, combos, but it just wasn't a realistic scale, unfortunately.
Okay, that's a really cool concept. I really like the idea of that.
Thank you.
In terms of aesthetics, who did the art and what did you or how did you settle on determining the theme of your game or the aesthetic of your game?
So Michael here is our lead artist. I'll let him take the wheel in a minute, but we kind of wanted to like aim for the Death's Door kind of aesthetic, and that also kind of has like an isometric style with like this kind of art style. But Michael, you can jump in here.
Yeah, and since we're going for kind of ice theme, we wanted enemies that were themed around the kind of cold. That's why we got wolves. We got a boulder guy who's kind of meant to be kind of like a cold kind of enemy. So we also wanted to have enemies who are related to grief and related to death as well, which is why we have 3 different variations of like ice golems kind of everything. I wanted to make sure that each character had a unique feel and different kind of attacks to them. Make sure each character had their own design essentially and their own way of existing.
Do you think the cartoony-ish art style represents that well?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was an attempt to also create a lot of simplistic art because I was the only artist, so I had to work fast and create a lot of animations and not burn out essentially. So it was an attempt to create those enemies as fast and as well as possible.
I must say, for having a single artist, the game looks great. Like, it's consistently polished and it's very clean, very smooth, I would say. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, would you change anything about the way you did your art?
I don't think so. I think if I had more time, I'd have definitely polished a few things out a bit more, but otherwise, I think I enjoyed it.
Who came up with the idea of the game?
That was me. We kind of wanted to start early, so right after we finished first year, like as soon as we got into the summer, we just started like idea generating and making design docs and stuff like that. And then I think it was beneficial because by the time like the fall semester started, we just kind of had like a running start. Like we just jumped into it and started like developing right away.
That's awesome. Awesome, great dedication there.
Thank you.
Anything else to add, you think, that's notable?
In a minute here, or actually I guess right now on the screen, you'll be able to see like our last kind of enemy. So he's supposed to be like a buff, stronger enemy. He takes a little bit to kill. And then outside of that, like I mentioned, there is a final boss at the end. I don't know if we have time to reach it because we still have like half the game to go.
Oh.
It is it is longer than we intended. We didn't intend it to be this long, but when we did like record our gameplay video, we realized that it took people like half an hour to like an hour to beat the game. So but there's a boss at the end of the game. In terms of the boss, it didn't turn out exactly like we would have liked. We had issues with the UI. Specifically, we had a member on the group whose job was essentially just to do the UI, and then they just stopped responding and showing up to classes, and they didn't do it. And then like a week before GamesCon, we're like, maybe they're just like not in the program anymore. And then we kind of had to do it like super last minute, and so that's kind of why the UI is a little bit more simple and straightforward. But then that also kind of took away from the boss fight as well. So the boss fight is essentially just a strong enemy that takes a while to kill. But yeah.
I'd argue the lack of UI is actually a strength. It really puts the focus on the gameplay, the characters, the art. Focuses on that, and I mean, looks good. That was kind of one thing that stood out about the game is that it's just really focusing on the visuals, what's actually on screen. You have enemies in front of you. Don't really have to worry about your health. Just don't get hit too much, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. That stood out to me. I thought that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it really is impressive.
I don't know if it was intentional, right? But it ended up working out. So sometimes stuff like that can just happen. The game dev, man, it happens.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to do more with the UI. Like even like when the game ends, it just is kind of like cuts back to the start screen, or like the game's supposed to be played with a controller, but the controller doesn't work for the title screen. So even little stuff like that. But yeah, we did hear actually from people, kind of like what you said, how the UI, the simplistic nature of it, kind of works with the game well.
Yeah, I mean, even like some of your tutorial stuff is just built into your world instead of like a little pop-up.
Yeah.
And sure, that might disturb the art a little bit, but then it also means that it's a little bit more seamless when you're walking around. You just see something as a part of the environment, which is also pretty cool. So I mean, whether it's intentional or not, it ended up having a pretty cool effect.
Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell if the game had a single artist. That's very shocking to me. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was definitely something we had to work around. Like me specifically, I'm horrible at art. Like I cannot do any art for the life of me. So we definitely had to keep that in mind. As I mentioned, like with our original idea, when we had those like 5 different worlds, we made our design doc, and then we're like, okay, cool. We have like 30 models, like 125 animations, and 1 artist. And we're like, maybe we gotta come back just a little bit. And then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The main character, are they a fox?
They're supposed to be a wolf.
Oh, why are they a wolf?
Well, originally when it revolved around the 5 stages of grief, it was supposed to be like the character, like he's like a lone wolf. Like it was kind of like a play on that.
That's funny.
And then we didn't do that, and then we're like, well, we have this model, so and we like it, so. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's the big head?
We love the big head. It's very it emphasizes the player a lot.
I think it emphasizes the big head mode.
Sure.
Brain plays.
You guys really should just have like an option to make the characters have like 5 times bigger, as well as all the enemies.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty good mode. That should be your game next year.
Big-headed Fenris.
Big-headed Fenris. Yeah. Do you think there's anything else to add?
Do you guys have anything else to add?
I mean, for me, I did all the music and sounds and stuff like that. I mean, no one can hear it right now, so I guess I can't really
I can hear it on the
explain
stream, I believe.
But no, I mean that was a lot of fun. Like each area has different unique soundtracks that I made, and sound effects I found were pretty good. I think I can definitely learn a bit more from it too. Like get more unique with music, but overall I really like that. So definitely like check that out if anyone else plays it.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that with that, or is this the boss fight or?
No, there still is a bit to go before the boss fight, so I don't know if we have time to make it there. But
Oh man. That was a good game. It's a very solid, consistent game.
I'm gaming hard. Oh shit.
Thank you.
I mean, I watched you walk. I watched
Okay.
you walk into water like 3 times in a row. But
Okay.
Gaming.
Do you find the difficulty to be too hard, or?
When I first started playing it, I was just like, it's so Jover, but I've been grinding it out, The mechanics are good. The dodging is nice. As long as I get the hang of it.
It reminds me of those Lego games. You just die and you just keep going back after and after. It doesn't matter how many times you die. I think it's cool.
Yeah, we wanted to put checkpoints like relatively close to where you die, so it's not like an annoyance.
Yeah.
Originally, we did want the game to be somewhat difficult, and then at GameCon actually, like we had like the first 2 people play the game, and they couldn't get past the first like little section, and so like on the spot we were just like removing enemies and tweaking it and like hot fixing it. To kind of like balance it a bit better because we didn't have too much time for like balancing stuff.
Balancing is definitely very difficult.
Yeah.
Seems like you guys came out with a great product.
Thank you. We were really happy that we were nominated for best second game, and then to win it was surprising because we didn't think like necessarily be, especially with like kind of like all the scaling issues we had. I was kind of surprised that. Like a pleasant surprise that we got nominated and then voted for best game of the second year.
Well, I mean, now you know whatever you didn't like in Fenris, you can move forward in your next game, and you can make that even better. Who knows? Maybe you're coming back for best third year.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
We'll see next year. But yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
We're back, and we're here hosting the winner for design, Midnight Crew. Talk about what your game is about.
So Operation Echo is a VR puzzle game that really draws a lot of inspiration from escape rooms, as well as kind of just physical aspect of working in an environment. Our goal really was to create a VR escape room.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been the core focus for us.
How do you come up with the idea of making a VR game?
Well, so we weren't going to make a VR game originally.
Right.
It was going to be this like deck builder, like racing game. You were both going to be speedrunning against each other. I thought that could have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then, I was talking with some friends, and they were like, well, what if instead, you did something like that, but it was smaller and in VR? And so that was pretty cool. And so the idea then became, okay, if we're doing a VR game, then, speedrunning should be still fun. Our original intention was to have multiplayer in,
Right.
but we ran into a lot of issues with like Epic Online and a bunch of other things. So we eventually dropped it down to being just single player, which I think was actually more cohesive for the whole experience,
Right.
Helping to really focus in on those single player interactions, making the puzzles enjoyable without having to, lose time on other
Right.
features.
So, what did you have to keep in mind when creating a VR game for new/experienced players in VR?
Like when I played the game, I think I was like rolling through it.
Yeah.
Right? Because I do have experience with VR. I've played Beat Saber quite a few times until my physiotherapist said, "You have tenitis." Tinnitus?
Tinnitus?
Tinnitus. And
The
I
ear
was,
one?
no, tendinitis. And I was like, so that means I can't keep swinging my arms? He's like,
We
no.
also have our own VR headset.
We also have our own video. So both of us are pretty skilled at it, but like,
Yeah.
there's a few people who might not be able to, who haven't even grasped at VR. So how did you like develop for that?
Yeah, at GameCon was really one of the like big places where we saw people that had like no experience whatsoever with VR. We did a couple in-house playtests that were a lot like smaller scale, people that have a little bit of experience. One of the big ones, very early on, it was around I think November is when we had James come in and he played our game and he was like, I actually don't know what I'm supposed to be like interacting with because he's never played a VR game before, or at least doesn't do it very often. So normal controls of like you hit the grip button to grab something weren't like standard to him, so he didn't understand that. And so we actually had to implement in our main menu like a little control scheme thing that you can actually interact with and grab and see that helps to at least guide people in the correct direction, right? But outside of that, there's not like a lot of difficulty really to the game, right? It's very simple. There's like two buttons you can ever press. You walk around, you press the grip button, or you press the taunt button. Whenever Casey wants to hit that taunt button,
There's a taunt button.
there is, yeah.
To do what?
Oh, you'll see when it's on the video. It'll be good. You want to hit Casey? You want to hit your trigger real quick? Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh.
So that was a fun thing. Pretty much like one of the first things we actually made was that middle finger interaction.
Make a game? No. Taunt button? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our goal there. And so that was kind of one of the more fun parts.
All right.
In terms of art and design, why did you choose this like kind of like adventure type dungeon? Like, why is it in a dungeon?
Why is there a rat head?
Why is there a rat head? So
Why is there a rat head?
we were trying to think of a theme that would make sense for like going back in time and trying to grab an item of like significant value. And then what ended up happening is we were like, okay, we've got like three options. It could be like an Egyptian pyramid, could be like an Aztec temple or like a jungle temple or something like that, or it could be we could go into the future and that could be really cool. And so we ended up leaning more towards that like jungle temple is what ended up happening here. And so we did a lot of like research into some like just kind of things that happen in the jungle. There's rats in the jungle, so we were like, let's put rats in there. There's snakes in the jungle, let's put snakes. And so that's kind of the way that kind of came about. Yeah. The rat is just kind of a fun little piece that's, he's really big.
It is
and
big.
It's a nice set piece to be like, wow, that is a really big rat on the wall. Right? That's one of the first few things that people will mention about the game when they see it.
What was the most difficult part when designing your game?
A lot of it comes back to like if a decision is counterintuitive to that core like physicality principle. one of the big things is like as we're adding in new features or as we're trying to be like, oh, should this thing be in the game? We have to think about if it is counterintuitive to that actual ability of going through the room.
Yeah.
My biggest like the thing that I love the most about escape rooms is actually being in the room and doing the things, right? And so that's where a lot of the inspiration came from for this. And so, you know, there were ideas at some point of like Half-Life Alyx has that, like you can put out the joystick and it'll like do a line and you can grab something far away.
Yeah.
We thought about maybe we could do that. And it was like, well, I don't really love that because it's like a little bit less of that physicality. There's also another one that came up was, I had it for like a quarter of a second there. And then I forgot it. Locomotion. We use fully room scale movement. And so the idea of, what if we did like joystick or teleport movement, it came up. And so we eventually decided that it could be added later on as like a space saving solution.
Yeah.
But in its original idea, at least, it can't really mesh well with that moving around the space and doing the things.
Yeah.
And so that's why we use fully room scale movement.
Very cool.
In terms of puzzles, because obviously it's a big escape room puzzle game, how do you think, compared to developing like a puzzle for like a non-VR game, is there like any certain way you have to like put your mindset to when considering VR?
I mean, one of the big ones we noticed is that people don't like looking up. It's you're in VR. A lot of people feel very constrained. They'll be they don't move too much, or they'll be very like focused forward or down. Why are you playing the rat like a bongo?
Oh, there you go.
You've got lots of those with you now. You knocked one in there, I think. So maybe.
Oh, that's actually good.
And now
Did he break it?
They didn't break it.
Oh.
Okay.
Where was I? I don't remember where I was at the
We're
time.
talking about
how you have to think in terms of VR puzzle development compared to like I don't know,
it's really just the information that players will naturally like lend themselves to gaining access to.
Yeah.
For the most part, they're not. There's not too much of a difference functionally between making puzzles for a regular flat screen game versus a VR game here. I think Casey's pretty much figured it out.
Casey done it.
Casey's done it. Hey, the door's not opening. But
Yeah, I think he,
very
with the amount of things
chaos.
that he has, I'm pretty sure that he broke the door. If you want to walk through the door real quick, just put your head in it. And then you can see on the other. And it's passed through.
No, you can see us. Okay.
Okay, put your whole arm through the door and then grab.
he's trying.
Oh, no, try it again. Go a little further,
Oh,
Hey!
let's go.
These guys won't see it, but they'll see it in a little bit. And you've acquired the pie.
Let's
So,
go.
there you go, and you won. You solved the whole thing. I think you just spawned too many things. So
that's a
yeah,
plug,
I
not
mean,
me.
there's definitely things like that that are a little quirky that.
I still like it.
Good design.
It's just kind of fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. I liked it.
Thank you for joining us. I think that will be all.
That's all from us. Good game. Slay.
You slayed.
All right, welcome back. So, tell us a bit about your game.
So, Starlight is an action roguelike game. It's all about creating a custom magical spell, which has all sorts of wacky effects, and delving into procedurally generated 3D dungeon, taking out a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, so that's lovely. Do you have anything that inspired you or any inspirations on making the game?
So the gameplay and the spell customization is very inspired by Noyeta, with its customizable wand system, and the graphics and visuals very inspired by other games that sort of marry pixel art and 3D, like Octopath Traveler.
All right, I loved the art style of the game specifically. Phenomenal stuff. Like, who exactly was the artist?
Lily was the artist. She's not here, and but we all worked on a lot of the art stuff. I did some of the lighting and visuals, and Dan did some of the compositing of the 3D environments, as did I. Yeah, we really wanted to marry like the best parts of that retro style with some more modern sensibilities and cool things that you can do in Unreal, like ray tracing, volumetrics, cool visual effects. Yeah.
All right. So while Lucas is figuring out playing,
I figured out where I was. I was in the shop. I've gotten it down. All right. I thought I had to buy things. I realized I own all of them.
Yeah, we've given you everything for the demo.
All right. I'm gonna do wild magic. Oh,
so those are wild magic modifiers.
Ah, okay. They're modifiers. Got it.
So wild magic is quite unstable.
Pull up one of those in.
Anything could happen. The game could crash because it spawns a million fireballs or something. Who knows?
Oh, I didn't know it was that wild.
It's insanely
I
wild.
thought it was just it picks a random existing mod.
It can choose split, which causes two of itself.
Oh,
And then that wild magic can then choose split again.
Oh, cool.
And then just continue going.
I should have experimented more with it.
James Robb actually managed to get the what I like to call the Oppenheimer event. Because it does exactly that, where it picks a split, and then it picks a split of the split, and it just keeps compounding until the whole thing shatters. And James sat down, played the game for about, like a minute 30, 2 minutes, not even. First spell he shot, there goes the game. Like,
Yeah, he almost cleared out the dungeon with his first few shots, and then he sent one so crazy that the game exploded.
Yeah, it just couldn't handle it.
We thought of patching that out, but it's actually kind of funny, so we kept it.
I mean,
I like the loading screen tips. Those are very funny.
Oh, yeah,
Need a break.
classic.
Escape. Okay.
all right. So playing the game, because I was at the booth during GameCon Expo, and I noticed the lightning spell.
Oh, yeah.
And the lightning with the chaining and the balancing. How did you guys handle balancing? Because
Well, it's kind of our philosophy that like we should try to. We realized that there were sort of dominant strategies. What we tried to do is just like make sure that every spell had some good stuff. But like, if somebody finds something that's inherently busted and like just destroys everything, that's a good thing because it's fun.
Gotta get out of here.
Yes, more with strategy, balancing your game.
Too many gamers.
It's just more
And like,
obscene things. Yeah.
who doesn't love the visual vomit of just everything exploding? It's
it's
hilarious.
absolute chaos, but it's beautiful chaos, and that's what I love about the design language of your game.
Like it's hilarious. I think you've made an interesting spell there.
I don't know. It's shooting out and it's kind of just going places.
That it
and
is.
things are getting hit. So that's
I can-
no.
I think it applied some poison damage there.
I think yeah. I took the poison damage. Maybe I should have bought a health potion. I don't know.
We might not see it here, but there's a like very rare chance that there'll be like a dancing 3D model of me. They put that into
Look for the
prank me.
corners of the bookcases.
Who knows?
Maybe you'll see.
It was, to be fair, I will say it was entirely your fault for getting the 3D scanner and providing us with that model. So,
Suck at this game, bro.
Do you want me to tell you a busted build?
I'm gonna figure it out. I think I chose some bad
ask,
things.
Like, and what your favorite build is, but if
Ooh, a favorite build.
yes, what's the
That's
favorite build of
hard.
yours?
I like the 6-shooter and all recasts. It's just a laser beam. It's hilarious.
it will just melt.
Oh my goodness, is that?
Who's that art?
What's that artwork?
Oh, well, it's on screen.
Yeah, don't worry
Yeah.
about it. That's just.
Lucas died already. This is a little.
Yeah, I'm already
Wow.
dead. That's yeah.
The artwork is like most of it was done by Dan and
So like over the years,
There's like 3 inside jokes in there, though.
there, a couple of the paintings were just pictures of us, just scaled down in pixel art. Mainly Mason screaming "Face of Agony," but a lot of the other ones were just me practicing pixel art and just a 64 by 64 canvas. And a lot of them we just decided, hey, we have a
little log of unused art, and we thought, why not? We are looking for paintings. These are looking pretty good. We'll just add them in.
And like everything else in the
This one
level,
upside
it's
down.
completely procedurally generated, like placed in the levels, like completely.
Yeah.
Dan, tell them about the Q waffle system.
Oh, okay. So
the quantum one, yeah.
it took me it took me a while to actually get the system to work completely. But after this semester, after I rewrote everything, essentially it'll create like a brand new level every single time you boot into the game. Best way I could summarize it, aside from using the technical jargon of, oh, it models wave function collapse. Essentially what it's doing every single update is it checks a tile or a neighboring tile for every single update until it can no longer purge amount of possibilities for each tile to spawn, and then it continues just generating off of that to essentially create the best possible generated layout for the level. After that stage is done, we actually add in a bunch of furniture, so the books, the paintings, and there is the possibility for tables to spawn. It's just, it's not big enough tile grid for that.
I think it looks pretty great. Like we're looking
Yeah.
for this level he's in now. I got a little janky with that door to nowhere, but you know.
I mean, you know what?
I would
Maybe
agree.
maybe this is like where the people read the books.
Maybe. There can be
I
the
mean,
floors,
it's
too.
it's very distinct, right? I mean, I'm experiencing different level like layout here than I was just like 2 minutes ago. So
A
that's
really
always-
exciting version of this new tile set that we have is it's capable of generating multiple floors that stack on top of each other.
Oh.
So
Let's bring
I'm
it here.
not sure if we'll see it soon on like the stream here yet, but this system has a lot of room to expand upon. So if we were to later, let's say, package this into its own independent add-on that we can add in future games, we can then build on it. For example, in the version that we have for this game, I haven't discovered the powers of multi-threading yet. So it is unfortunately slow for what it could be. If I decided to come back to this later and rewrite it in C++ entirely, we could have a really fast level generator with limitless possibilities. Like any tiles that you can necessarily fit into it, it'll work.
That is spectacular.
We're only limited on time and art, essentially. So as much of...
Oh, you picked up a journal entry there a minute ago.
I think I got a couple of them.
We do.
Okay.
There's so
Oh
much.
God, there's an enemy.
Oh, you got to the boss fight. Hey.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he's got
Oh,
it.
he's dead. You did it, man.
He's dead.
Yeah, you finished the game.
Just
I want to give it a go because I have some spell combinations that I've cooked
Oh,
up.
yeah, definitely.
I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
cooked up, and I feel like that's kind of part of the fun of this game is that everyone kind of has a different way.
Everyone
they
has
like
a
to
different
play,
take,
right?
yeah.
Everyone's got their favorite
Yeah.
spells. And
I'm sorry, hang on. I need to see what you did to one tap the boss. Let me see what you're running here. With, lightning with split, recast, attrition, and two homings.
That's not even that good.
I don't know. How did you one tap the boss?
What did you do?
I shot him. I literally.
This is illegal, bro.
This
is illegal.
There's literally like millions of combinations though. Like, so there is a good chance that you'll just find something like that nobody else has tried before.
Busted, yeah.
And maybe it's busted, who knows? Because none of these like interactions are pre-programmed in, they're all sort of like, they just emerge from the different behaviors that these modifiers add to the spell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the cool things about Noida, which you guys said is like
Yeah.
one of the
Yep.
big inspirations for the spell system, right? Is that you can kind of just put whatever you want in there, and they all moderately mesh together really well.
Oh, yeah.
And so I can see that here as well. It's really cool.
Yeah, that was a big focus for us.
All right, let's see if this one cooks.
And I don't know if you can see this on the stream, but another big focus for us was the interactive audio system. Everything that you do in the game sort of like plugs into it and layers in different stems and stuff. We've distributed the AdImp music player alongside the game to listen to the OST if you'd like, with all of those sliders and effector variables still
It's
attached.
actually because we probably have time. Actually, we're not gonna be able to get the audio. That's the fucking
yeah,
problem.
Yeah.
But
That's too bad.
Oh well.
yeah, well, I mean, I would have loved to show that off because that's pretty neat that you built an entire, separate application just to listen to the music. But okay, so this is my spell. I call this the room clear. And you just shoot a bunch of fucking lightning bolts into a room.
Yeah.
Okay. It splits into more of them. They bounce around in the inside of the room. They find their enemies and then they kill them. And it's great. So you don't even have to look. You just, set it and forget it. Look, there's probably enemies in there. Now there's not.
Easy
Right?
peasy.
Yeah.
And it's great. Oh, what's that? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, one thing
Guess
I've-
what? There was no. Oh fuck. Oh god. Okay. Well, what is this? Oh fuck. Okay, cool. Well, we're seeing some of the limitations of the room clear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why I died.
Oh.
God damn. All right. Well, I got another one that I did. I call this one Unlimited Power. And it's just this.
It's just infinite recast.
It's just laser.
I feel like the infinite recasts works pretty well on pretty much any build.
Yeah, you just
one thing
You put one split cast and a fireball in there.
One split
It's really
cast,
good.
fireball.
One split
Straight
cast, the
up.
rest of it recast, and a fireball. That is just.
That's the Flammenwürfel.
That's the Flammenwürfel. Yes. One of my favorites.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
dude.
you just congratulations.
This is a
you
war
discovered
crime, I
the
think.
shotgun.
Yeah. Okay. I want to try one with a bunch of wild magic on it, real quick.
Oh, you very well may crash the game.
So yeah, okay. I think that might be how we end this segment then.
Yeah.
Is we do wild magic, 3 wild magic, and
pull up
2 split.
Task Manager.
Yes, you will.
You can just control.
If this goes horribly
Alt
wrong, you
F4.
will need to just.
Yeah, we was Alt F4,
Take
right?
the
Yeah.
game out back and
You could try.
There's also a wild magic spell. Huh? There's also a wild magic spell.
The wild magic spell.
But I feel like that might be funnier.
I think this is funnier.
Just
I think
roll wild magic.
let's just
Entirely
see. Let's just
wild
see how it
magic
goes.
has a chance of doing the Oppenheimer effect.
I hope it does the Oppenheimer effect. That's what I'm waiting for.
It very well may happen. You've put 3 in there. 3 wild magic.
3 wild magic, 2 split.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's.
I'll definitely do the wild magic spell.
It's not. Oh, this is like a minute.
That's it.
behind
Yeah.
But this is. I think it's somewhat likely that you're gonna crash.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I wanted because I heard James crash the game.
Yes,
Oh, it's
he
hilarious.
And I didn't really realize that the wild magic could like cascade in that way. So I want to crash the game too.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, fuck
Achievement
you.
get.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed, though, and this is something that we aim to iron out for later, is that occasionally, if you try and shoot a spell through a door, it will just stop in the door frame.
Yes, I did
So-
notice that. That's
clue
the issue with the room
exactly-
clear. Oh my
yeah.
god, did you see that? What the hell happened there? All right, let's try one more time.
So this is like
It just,
the thing
it's
about wild
like,
magic-
what's the thing where you mix, I can't say it because it's illegal, but it's in the Anarchist Cookbook.
Oh. of
It's like
course.
styrofoam and that one other thing that's really
Ah, yes,
napalm. It's
yeah.
like napalm. it's napalm.
No.
Well, it was napalm for a second.
We do love the anarchist cookbook.
We do love the
Yeah.
Anarchist Cookbook.
That is.
Well,
the-
don't
that's
ask me
the-
why I know that, by the way.
That's-
But
yeah, no, of
That's the
course.
official opinion of Stellar Octopians, folks.
The whole team.
Yeah.
The whole team. Yes, we unanimously agree. That this is the Anarchist Cookbook.
No.
yeah, it just chases you down. It's like
It's just-
genuinely scary.
You cannot.
You either with wild magic you either do like 2 damage or a billion.
Yeah. It's
like that was a billion right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully it's another billion. Oh my god, this is the gambling spell.
Yes.
Oh my god. Why didn't I
90%
use
of,
this
Stellar
earlier?
Octopians fans
Ah, right, well.
stop playing Starlight right before they get the Oppenheimer effect.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, you
All
died.
right, well, unfortunately, yeah, I did die. No Oppenheimer effect. I think we probably call it there in the segment. Was there anything else you guys wanted to share about the development of the game?
Oh, I mean, I feel like we really hit on all the main points, but thanks
Well,
for.
real quick, there were a lot of changes to this game. I remember you guys. First off, I remember you started with much fewer spells, and then you added more over time. But I also remember the game was top down initially, and then you guys switched to third person, which I think was a pretty smart thing because stuff like being able to shoot things into rooms, which I guess you might have been able to do before, but like now it's bouncing off ceilings.
Yeah.
You're just more aiming. I feel like that was a pretty interesting choice, and I think it paid off. But I don't know, man. This game had a really interesting development, and I think it ended up in a really interesting spot. So great work, guys.
You recommended the dash. That was a game changer too.
Yeah, I think it ended up feeling like the combat felt pretty good. So yeah, I had a good time with it, and I think I might even go back to see some more spell combinations now that I know about wild magic. Yeah. All right, well that was Stellar Octopians, and we're gonna be back next with who's next? We'll be back with Spectre Trails next. Hope to see you soon.
Let's go, baby.
All right, welcome back. Here we have the winners of the Best Art category, Gold Band Studios, with their game Spectre's Trail. I guess as we wait for it to load up here, I'll get a little bit of an input on your guys' team. So, what made you guys decide to make this kind of game?
Right, so we were aiming for a massive scope, which was the worst idea we could have done, right? So our product is kind of like the culmination of like taking what we were expecting and then pulling it back all the way to what we had for GameCon, right? So in our eyes, it's much different than what we expected, but I assume for everyone else, it looks quite all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really grand scale in terms of like all your environments. I went to review 2. I caught like the later half of your guys' review too. It was really interesting to see like the way that your environment art had evolved from then, which still looked amazing then, and then it looks still pretty great now. Thank you. Not pretty great. It looks still amazing.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a really cool thing. I talked with Logan, one of your teammates, beforehand in last semester, and he talked about this big forced co-op, like 2-person game. And so I see that, obviously that's a big scope. And so you guys recognized that and then pulled back, which is a really, really smart decision to be able to do. We'll see here in a little bit. Who does your like character art and that kind of thing, right? Is it either you guys or someone else?
So in terms of who did what, so I did like the environment art, right, as a whole, right, includes the texturing, shading, everything in the between. In terms of the enemies, it was all Adam who did the enemies. I just did like the main character. That was kind of my input for characters. So it was only 2 people for the whole artistic side of this project.
I mean, you guys you put in a lot of work. Like we said on the main show, it looks like you guys put in a lot of love in this. And you can see just with the the huge scale, and then even all the particle effects and things that your characters are doing. It's really, you guys just put a lot of effort into this art, and I guess that's why you guys won the award.
Yeah,
which is very deserved.
Even my personal scope, like Logan, the scope of like that we had with the co-op was insane. But in terms of my personal co-op with the level, I was very inspired by Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Genshin Impact, and those games are like pretty much open world, right? So I was setting myself up for disaster, by making like an open world kind of game. So a lot of those open elements kind of stayed, but we had to obviously make a very linear, progressing.
Of course.
Right.
And I mean, you guys made, I think it was 5 levels? Is that correct? Maybe 6?
I guess 3,
and then the
3.
final boss level.
Okay.
So 3.5.
So 3. Okay, sure. We'll round it up to 4 because that final boss is very grand. It's a very big battle. It looks very interesting.
Yes, thank you.
I haven't actually played that part. I played through level 1 a little bit here, but past that, I didn't really have a lot of time to play.
It's a long game.
You guys, you put in, it's a lot of work. It's really, you guys went really wide with it, and it's very, very good. Great job. Aside of that, what kind of like challenges did you guys run into? Obviously scope. Were there other ones of like, obviously you guys are using 3D for the first time, I think? You guys didn't do 3D last year, did you?
We did.
We did 3D last year.
All right, well, you guys did 3D last year.
Yeah.
We were like one of the only groups.
Yeah, so I guess you guys really didn't have to deal with that like additional challenge of trying to figure out like, the way that 3D interacts with Unity. Are there any just like challenges in general with the engine or anything like that?
I guess like technical problems, a lot of like just like technical constraints and like time, and like being able to actually build all the systems and make sure that they work properly. That was a big constraint. And if we had more time, obviously we would be able to make more systems, and why like a lot of it got cut pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had like 4 months to make this, so that's an accomplishment all on its own, right? That you're able to make something as cohesive and enjoyable as this game was. What are your bosses? I've seen the last boss. We'll hopefully get to the first boss here in a little bit. What kind of decisions really drove the way that the bosses interact, or the art, I guess, since you guys are the artists here, the award you won, but
all the bosses were definitely from Adam, not me.
Pretty much like, I guess, the way that I made the bosses, the design decision was just like what was cool, and that was about it. And then that was also procedural animation. I wanted to do procedural animation, so I wanted to make bosses that could actually adhere to that. So there's 2 with that. One is like a shark, and it flies around, and then the other is, of course, the spider golem.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much it was just, is this cool? And if it was, then we added it, and then that was.
That's a good way to go about it. Yeah, that spider golem is it was really big. It was really cool. And you know, I watched him play through, and he started fighting it, and he got all the way up in its mouth and stuff. He was shooting it in the face. It was just really cool to see all that kind of stuff come together. Where are we right about now? I don't really know. I think we're a little over half. Is that right?
Wait, is it third level?
I think it is. Yeah.
That's a third.
Wait, did I skip the second level?
Oh, okay, this is the second one.
Okay, this might be the second one then.
Second encounter. Yeah.
You know, I'm a whole lot of questions here. Anybody else from the audience got anything to ask? I know you can't really see the game right now, but
Did you ask about the inspiration behind the boss design?
I did. Well, I kind of did.
I heard you kind of ask about the bosses, but like, were there any specific games or
Sure.
any specific bosses that you kind of were like, oh, dude, what if we played like this?
For the level 2 boss, you played Subnautica?
Have I?
I have, yeah.
I don't know, but maybe the audience at home hasn't.
Oh, okay. But pretty much I was like, I really like the Reaper Leviathan from Subnautica, and I wanted to make that into a boss. It's just a big
fish.
shark. Yeah.
Big fish.
Big fish.
Big fish.
Wet fish.
Kind of the nature of being a
If it was a
fish.
big dry fish, that would be a whole, that'd be sad story. I feel like fish not being dry is, fish being dry is a little sad. But yeah. But, what about the final boss? Because I tried that and it beat my ass immediately. I just started running off stage and going off level because I was like, oh, cool, found a way to get outside of the level boundaries. We just chill here where you can't attack me, and then I died. So, but yeah, what was some of the inspiration behind that one? Because Lucas said it felt like a Destiny boss. Basically, he was like, it's gonna explode, and I'm like, I think it's gonna explode. And he's like, no, it's gonna explode, and then it exploded. And then he's like, how did you know that it's gonna explode? It was just like a red line, and it's like I played Destiny. So. Was there any Destiny inspiration in that boss or any of the other bosses?
Actually, that red thing was from Elden Ring. I was remaking a particle effect from Elden Ring. It's just like an attack that the boss has. But other than that, the boss inspiration was just from Logan. He pretty much had this whole idea for a spirit of violence, and it was a bear. So I started modeling way back in like October. I started modeling a bear. So and then eventually just became the final boss.
First boss.
All right. Well, we'll see when we catch up here. You can see this final boss.
I gotta change that thing green.
It's very, this boss. It's just he's just moving. He's good. He's looking. I really like that you guys have that like targeting indicator on the weak points there. That I imagine you have to destroy to actually get him to be maybe not in a damageable state, but the place where you can actually damage him.
Also, I know a spot in this room where you get a funny graphical bug. I mean, I don't know if it's consistent, but you just like deload parts of the level. It's pretty funny. So it was nice to see like no matter how like pretty a game is, beneath it all, it is computer code, which means it's cursed. But yeah, you can just kind of get a look at like, oh, it's all just ones and zeros, and you can break it sometimes. Which I think is just it's like humanizing about a game, right?
For sure.
I think it was always pretty fun. But yeah, this boss is definitely super interesting, and I love the procedural animation. You can see it sometimes walking out a little bit, but I mean, that's
but
part
it
of
also
it,
just
the humanizing part.
Yeah. I mean, just the way that it all comes together. There's like a little bit of those like weak or like weird points, but overall, it just kind of looks really nice. It looks really like natural almost.
Just embracing the jank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came down to like I wanted to fix those, and I definitely had the ability. I just didn't have the time.
Yeah, I mean that's what it all comes to,
There's
right?
time and priorities, and it's like I can either eat or I can like work and finish on these procedural legs and make them look a little bit better.
Well, I'm glad you chose to eat. That's a good decision to make.
You're never gonna make it, man. You're never gonna
Yeah,
make it.
well,
You can't eat
you
shit.
were eating, he was grinding.
Yeah, dude.
He's grinding accounting, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
well.
But yeah, I mean, awesome stuff. We'll see. I don't know if we're
gonna beat this in time.
I mean,
No,
you
I
know what?
probably
I don't know.
won't.
I don't know what our timing is looking like, but we're about halfway. You can't see the health bar on there, but it's about half here.
I actually just recently halved this boss's HP because it was way too hard, so that's been changed as well.
Sweet.
And just all the the VFX and stuff. It's just very super cool, right?
Cohesion.
All these pieces. I mean, they're all they all kind of mesh well together, but they're very distinct enough. You understand that that's not the same thing that was just above. That's going to shoot you with a laser. And so that's all. That's a big part of it, right? Being able to understand what you're seeing. Because with particle effects, a lot of the time a lot of people will be a little heavy-handed or a little underhanded. Not underhanded, but light-handed. I don't know. But they either like it's too much or not enough, and then it becomes like really hard to gauge what exactly you're looking at or what's going to happen, right? Where here, I think you guys did a pretty good job of being able to keep that all pretty tight.
I believe I've reached phase 2.
I think you might have, because he's up on the wall.
Yeah, he's on the wall. I can't really like hit him from up here.
Oh, it's different on the.
Yeah, it'll.
Yeah, it's,
just
yeah,
a
20 second delay.
You'll
or
see him up
something.
there in a little bit.
How do I get him now?
Your ranged weapon, maybe? I don't know if the range is long enough. Maybe you have
No. Also, he's in immortal phase right now. I guess I'm gonna kill
right,
these
you gotta
guys
kill all the
first.
guys then, probably. That's a Destiny mechanic. Kill all the
Yeah.
guys before the other guy comes down.
And you know, we love
It's present in lots of games.
I'm not sure I'm gonna
First one that
live.
comes to mind actually is the Gaia boss in the Botania mod for Minecraft. Just this is a dumb one to come to mind at first, but it's just the first one that I can remember. Yeah.
He summoned the ghost things up there.
So, yeah,
Can't really see it on the stream, but the.
He's a little low here, so we'll see if he's able to make it through.
I'm not.
Defeat
I
the
can't.
stone golem. You might be able to. Maybe you clutch up here.
0 hits run right here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what we're here for. 0 hit run.
Starting
that's
at
what you guys
100
were looking
hits,
for,
yeah.
right? You're looking to see somebody beat the game without getting hit, right? That's like
it's-
this is a game. We're games done quick, you know.
Hardcore mode.
I like anybody's done.
No. I can tell you, I got hit on my first combat encounter. Health bar is very low. I wish you could see it on there. As you'd see, it's very anxious when I'm looking over here, and I can see it. His lasers
so
are getting
stressful.
really close to him.
It is so stressful.
Yeah.
1 HP in a dream right here.
It's a feature, I swear.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a feature.
It's these animations.
Why are you
speeds as
blocking
well.
the guy? Get out of here.
It's just really well done. You know, I really like the emissive materials that you have on like the player character as well as in the ground there.
Thank you. Actually, the emissive, like the masks on the player and in like the arena area, that was like the only hand drawing that was done in the whole game,
Yeah.
pretty much. The rest was all just procedural.
Nice.
Texturing, right? Because time constraints, right?
Yeah,
Of course.
well, especially with an environment of this scale, right? You're obviously not going to be able to go through this whole thing with a fine comb on the substance painter or whatever you use.
Of course, yeah.
I figure it's substance painter, but I'm not sure.
It is, yes, it is.
All right, well, I think that's about everything, unless there's anything else you guys would like to talk about.
It's good.
All right, well, this has been Gold Band Studios. Check them out at GameCon.ca.
Back, everybody. We're looking at the best fourth year, which is the Outreach. So, tell us. So, from what I know, Outreach, this is a rehash of your previous year's game, right?
Yeah. So we've been building on our 30 game, which was also this game, and we've been preparing to release it on Steam soon this summer. And so yeah, we've done quite a lot. I think the third year version had one area. The final game, when we release it, it's going to have 5 areas. And this demo here kind of shows off 2 different areas of the game. We kind of cut between the first area and the 4th area of the game.
Okay. Is that cut specifically for GameCon?
Yeah, specifically for the demo. We just wanted to show off as many mechanics as we could, and the 4th area of our game is really good at showing off everything. So yeah, that's what we went with.
That's a really good idea. Okay, well, what are the major differences between last iteration and this one?
Ooh, just tons of polish, tons of improvements with all the mechanics and the physics and stuff like that. And mainly just content. We added so much content, especially with the mass fields area, which is the 4th area of our game again. We had this kind of water and swimming mechanic where there's these bubbles of water that you can jump and swim through. As well as kind of these homing crystals that come after you, new enemy type with the spider enemies, and yeah, there's a whole lot. Yeah.
Okay. What was your role in the project?
Oh man, so I'm primarily a programmer on the team, but I also do sound design and composing. I did some art stuff, and I'm mainly the project manager too. So basically a little bit of everything on this project, yeah.
Okay, well in that case, how do you think you improved from the previous iteration compared to this one?
Who, like me as a person or the game?
Sure, both. Why not?
Okay. I mean, me as a person, definitely better at the project management stuff. Man, yeah, there's so much content in this game. I think the final game is going to be around like 3 hours long.
Wow.
So yeah, just organizing all of that, figuring out what we should iterate upon, what needs more polish, I'd say. And yeah, really with the game, we learned so much from the previous GameCon and Level Up before, and we implemented kind of all those changes that we learned into this new iteration. And even GameCon this year, we learned so much. Already yesterday, like part of this area is completely like revamped already based on what we learned. So yeah, we've learned quite a lot.
Okay. What's your favorite new thing from this new iteration?
Ooh, my favorite new thing? Probably all the story stuff we've added. So there's a new shopkeeper NPC in our game who's a bit mysterious and weird, and he has this pet crab named Ringo, which we love. He's kind of our favorite character in the game.
I see.
And we also added these data logs, so throughout the game you can kind of collect these and read them in a terminal room. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they kind of tell you more about the kind of external conflict between these 2 alien civilizations who created the program that you're kind of playing through.
Mm.
And yeah, really just the story and world building stuff really brought the game to life compared to last year, I'd say.
Sounds very interesting. Without spoiling the narrative, could you give like a little tidbit of it?
Ooh, a tidbit. So the basic premise of the game is that humanity has been extinct for like thousands of years, but this alien civilization has discovered kind of the remnants of alien civilization, and kind of stumbled upon this human restoration program written by people on Earth. And they're actually just going through and recreating this, and kind of the purpose of why they're doing this, and kind of the weird politics between it among these alien civilizations is kind of what we get into. And that's kind of the external conflict. Internally, there's kind of this depraved foe who's trying to kind of make the simulation a kind of personal utopia for themselves, and you kind of deal with them later on in the game as well.
That's cool. Okay, so you have this game on Steam, I've seen. What do you think makes your game stand out the most compared to? I don't even know what genre this would fall into.
Yeah, so really, our game is a first-person movement shooter, but we say the twist is that there's no weapons. Instead, you have the telekinetic abilities that we show in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, really kind of the factor that makes it different is the physics-based nature of the gameplay. There's so many weird interactions. In our 3rd area of the game, we have these platforms that you can pull through the air and move to kind of create a way to get across the environment. And it kind of gets crazier with that. We have flying enemies that pick up other enemies and throw them at you. And so it's these weird systemic interactions between different systems that really make things interesting.
You think that's like your big main appeal, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I don't know who. I don't know if the person who did the arts is here.
Well, we all did art on the team pretty much. All of us did. So.
Well, in that case, do you think the aesthetic, the art style that you went for fits your game theme or aesthetic?
Yeah, I think so for sure. It's just weird, like it's like this cave rustic feel, but with neon colors, which is really strange. I'd be lying if I said we like planned it out super intricately on how to do this. But yeah, we kind of just figured it out as we went. This is kind of the style that we naturally converged on. We really just wanted to focus on making things readable and easy to understand. And so that's why there's so many bold colors everywhere, I'd say.
That's really cool. I know, yeah, your game is very vibrant, and I've noticed, and I think that's really great, honestly. Yeah, I assume as the game gets released, which is in a few months, I believe.
Yeah, releasing July 26th.
We're supposed on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as it gets released, are you going to plan to continue developing the game and provide consistent updates?
For sure, definitely after launch, we're going to be updating it a bit, just making sure everything goes smoothly.
Mhm.
But it really depends on the reception. If we see there's a large audience for the game and they want more content, we're definitely going to go ahead and add that. So, yeah, but other than that, we'd like to definitely start another project if, you know, the game does really well, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hypothetically, if the game got a big following, what do you think you could add to this game to make it even more better and intricate?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'd say definitely another area. We've had some ideas we've had to cut, so it'd be cool to kind of add those in if we have the extra time. Yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff with like gravity that we never messed with that we had ideas for. But yeah, I'd say that.
Okay, that sounds pretty promising. Very vague, but promising.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, okay, and let's say the other way. If you were to develop another game, would you make it similar to this or completely different?
Oh no, the ideas we have with the rest of the team at Revision, yeah, it's completely weird and different. It is nothing like this game.
Would you care to share a little bit about it?
Ooh, I feel like it's too early to really say too much.
Okay.
But generally, it's much less linear than this game. It's more open-ended. We're in love with like Resident Evil and that type of style of games, and that Metroidvania kind of format. So it kind of fit into that, and it probably wouldn't be first person either, just because pretty much every game we've ever made together has been first person. So we want to kind of experiment a bit with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of your main mechanic, the pull, the pull and shoot thing, I've never seen that in the game. I think is that completely original or is that inspired by something else?
Ooh, so we love Half-Life 2, obviously.
Yeah.
The gravity gun from that game.
Yeah.
But really, when we looked at a lot of other games, we noticed that while they may have telekinesis, that ability in there, it's never the main focus. It's always some secondary ability you have, and the game isn't really built around it.
That's true.
So really, the goal of this game was like, let's make the whole game just around telekinesis and stretch it as far as we can. Yeah.
That's pretty simple premise.
Yeah.
And seeing Ridger continuously fail at this game,
Yeah.
this is pretty funny. Good job, Ridger. You're doing great.
I'm killing shit.
Is there anything else notable you think that would be cool to add?
Ooh, anything else cool to add? Oh man, that's a big question. I'm not really sure.
I mean, what are you most proud of?
Ooh.
Maybe
what am I
programming wise, maybe something behind the scenes, something, you know?
That's a good question. I'm really just proud of how much our team was able to do. There's only 4 of us.
I know.
And this is a huge project. And we've been able to coordinate things so well. Especially all of us are kind of generalists. We all do a little bit of everything. Especially working with our designer, Christian. He's been able to iterate on these areas so well and develop them so cleanly with the mechanics. It's always fun to like make a new mechanic and hand that off to him and see what he does with it. So I say my team's the thing I'm the most proud of this game, to be honest. Yeah.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, the fact is this game is mind-blowing because most teams are like 5 to 7 people. You're a team of 4, which is like the minimum too, I believe.
Yeah.
That is like, how did you do it?
Oh, good question. A lot of time. You know, we started this game around this time 2 years ago. So we spent a long time on this game. I remember after we made our second year game, we're immediately like, okay, let's start the next thing. And when we immediately started this, we got Unreal 5, started messing around. And yeah, it was definitely tricky working with a completely new engine we've never worked with before, but we managed to figure it out. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have any secret on how we did it, but yeah, just a lot of coordination. And we've worked together for a long time too, like as a team since first year. So yeah. We just know each other pretty well.
Wow, that's awesome. It seems like you have some amazing synergy with your team.
For sure. I'm definitely so grateful for that.
You guys planning to move forward as an indie company?
It really depends on the success of this game. We hope it does well. We're trying to lean into marketing soon, kind of as we approach release. So yeah, it's really dependent on that. But yeah, we'd love to make another project together. Especially we learned so much working on this project that we could put towards the next one. Like, I feel like if we made a game similar in scope to this again, we could finish it in like half the time with what we learned. Just because we built so many tools for Unreal to kind of manage like saving and loading stuff and like editing levels and stuff like that. And yeah, same with the AI stuff. I have this whole AI pipeline I developed.
You're the only one here, right?
Yes, I'm the only one here. Yeah, we're quite busy, all of us. So
I can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, one thing I never really understood is how does your this system work?
The upgrade system.
Upgrade system.
Yeah, so you collect upgrades throughout the game, and they're kind of shaped like Tetris pieces. And you're able to kind of insert them and organize your inventory. Each of them usually boosts some stats. So we have things like movement speed, pull speed, carry weight, and health. Those are the 4 main stats.
Yep.
As well as these ability upgrades that you get from the shopkeeper here that you can trade in upgrades for. And so you kind of have to manage the space of the upgrades, and we play around with it later on. Like you get this upgrade that multiplies the effect of the surrounding upgrades, and so it gets kind of crazy with how you can maximize your build.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. How far are you, Roger, in terms of gaming?
I have no idea where I am.
Oh, where you are, you're like less than halfway done, maybe. People at GameCon took them about half an hour to finish it, so it's quite long.
I feel like the game is just enjoyable through and through. Like without like, it's just nice to look at, and it's just fun. You know, it's fun mechanics everywhere, rather than just like needing to get to an end goal. So, I feel like just the whole journey is pretty unique and enjoyable, and immersive. But yeah, I think you guys did a wonderful job, and I do hope for. I'll be wishlisting on Steam. If you're watching this, remember to wishlist on Steam.
Yes, please wishlist. It helps so much. So yeah.
Only in a few months you'll get a pre-order package or something. I don't know.
Yeah, pre-order bonus.
A pre-order bonus. There you go. This is some secret information only shared here.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's not working.
Well, I think that should.
That's just a boulder you can throw at enemies.
Damn, this guy
really wants to grab it.
This guy's not very good at the game.
No, not No worries. There's quite a lot of stuff going on, so I don't blame you.
I think Richard's just kind of bad.
What do you mean?
It's not. I think it's a skill issue. I blame him as well.
You can't dodge a Lux ult.
I'm not playing. This isn't League of Legends. This is Outreach.
But you can't dodge a Lux ult.
Well, once again, this is Outreach. Well, I think that about wraps it up, right? I think. Anything else to add?
I think it's a great summary of development on the game. Yeah, I think that's all good.
I hope to see success of this game. Honestly, I hope to see it on Steam.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, wishlist on Steam, everyone.
Wishlist on Steam,
Thanks.
guys. Remember.
All right, and we are here with, I think it's called Colonel Mustard and the Condiment Crew. That's what it's called, right?
I thought it was called Condiment King: The Fall of the Condiment Kingdom.
That's the sequel.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
That's the prequel.
That's the prequel.
Oh,
my
that's
bad. Okay, right.
Yeah.
After he then has the Condiment Crew.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah, that's what he forms to
He
take
gets the
back the
Condiment Crew.
kingdom.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I am really excited about this game. This is a game that Lucas and I managed to get addicted to during the prep for GameCon, which is a bad thing to do because we're busy. But we ended up playing a shit ton of this game, and it's called The Strength We Can Muster. And it ended up being a lot of fun. And today Lucas is going to get us to round 50, hopefully. So real quick, let's talk strategy, okay? No, go back. Go to the menu. Let's restart the game. All right, sweet. So let's talk about the 3 weapons. I'll give you my take, and then I want to hear what the developers have to say, okay? So, the mustard missile, I didn't really use it, but the rate of fire is so low that I feel like it's not the best weapon. It has a little bit of splash damage, probably, I imagine, but I don't think it's worth it. Now, the Relish Railgun, this one seems interesting. This is the one that will do a little bit of piercing damage. But unfortunately, the rate of fire, again, is too low, and I don't think it's useful enough for enemies with the piercing damage to really justify its existence. But the Ketchup Carbine, lots of shots in quick succession, and you have a lot of on-hit effects in the game, which means that players have the opportunity to load up on on-hit effects and then use the high rate of fire of the Ketchup Carbine to really maximize the amount of damage that they can output. Now, what do the developers think of this strategy that we've developed?
That's definitely what in the current version of the game is the strongest. The reason the other two seem weaker is because in older patches of the game, the on-hit effects were a lot stronger, so you could hit not just the enemies in the front, you can hit the entire wave at once, which made those items just absolutely broken.
Okay.
So those used to be, Relish Railgun I think is most of our favorite weapon.
Yeah. It's the first one I used, and I found it to be quite fun. But the Ketchup Carbine, it outputs the damage.
Okay.
Which is funny because it was the weakest weapon for like the longest time in development.
So real quick, before we move on from the screen, I noticed there's a certain Blender 3D cursor in one of the weapon previews. Does anyone want to comment on that? Whoever the artist might be.
So I made the 3D art, right?
Yeah.
And I never
Come forward a little bit. Please move over. Make room.
So I made I made all the weapons in like 3D.
Yeah.
And then I like submitted for one of our presentations just a screenshot of all of them.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, it's implemented in the game. And I never sent them the actual file for the weapon until like the very end, so it never got changed. And I never noticed it.
Sweet, yeah, we noticed it right away. We're like, oh, dude, there's a Blender 3D cursor. So you have experience with 3D modeling, but we could start, I guess.
I'll get it.
Where did you get experience 3D modeling, and when did that start?
I started back in high school, just 3D modeling for a while.
Nice. Yeah, so I noticed that a lot of this game isn't actually made up of traditional 2D assets, but they're actually 3D models that have been pre-rendered and stored as, flat images. Yeah. And I think that really adds to this game's, we'll call it charm. We used a different term when we were talking about it, but we think it really added to this game's charm. By the way, we just saw Lucas go through the item shop. We'll talk a little bit more about what some of my favorite items are. Maybe we'll talk about what some of your favorite items are. But there's a lot of really fantastic items. But first, I do want to talk a little bit more about the 3D. So you did everything. You created the character designs, enemy designs. I'm seeing these hot dog people. They're fully rigged and everything. Yeah. You guys really went in and fully committed to this, 2D pre-rendered assets thing. Where did the idea come to do it that way instead of just going 3D or just going with 2D hand-drawn?
I'm not good at 2D.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be easier to do it in 3D. For me, it was.
We were sitting at our team meeting, and she just started begging us to let her do 3D. So we're like, if you can make it look good, go ahead. And she made it
I
look
want
good.
you to know that this game's charm, I think, the music was the first thing that stood out to me. That's the one that won me over. And then seeing everything else, especially like the walk cycle, the way he bobs his head forward, the enemies with their little legs that just do a backflip when you kill them, or it gets squashed. I love this game. I don't know what else to say. This game's hilarious. This game is probably the funniest game to come out of a... Is there a funnier GameCon game to come out? Wait. Oh, dude, you hopped out of the shop. All right, we got to go over the shop. Next round.
I've been in the shop a couple times now, bro. You want me to get to wave 50?
We're going to get to wave 50, hopefully, okay?
That also brings me to one of our game ideas that we scrapped, and that was that every epic item originally was going to be a complete meme item that wasn't actually useful.
Okay, well... Me and Lucas actually stayed up late trying to get epic items and tried to grind for them. The bacon bits go crazy.
Yeah.
The bacon
They're
bits are
legendary
insane.
for that reason. They're
Yeah.
so broken.
Well, yeah, sorry. The epic ones are the ones that were going to be useless, right?
Yeah,
the
those are
legendaries
the
are really going to be based. All right, sweet. I'm not a Destiny player, so I don't remember what the things are. Okay, so we got, whoa, oh my God, we have to go. We can't afford it. Can we afford it? We can. Okay. So, I really like...
You got the 3 strongest items of the game.
Yeah.
So I really like that the reroll is always 0 and it resets to 0 every time you visit the shop. Because I think it would be kind of annoying if you wanted to reroll and then it just kind of got more expensive as the game went on.
Yeah.
This always is like, hey, I can take a little bit of an extra thing. You bought the thing. We want to talk about it. Sauerkraut increases the value of coins. I think it's just the best item in the game to get early. And then, sure, later on, maybe it's less valuable. But I feel like if you grab the sauerkraut, it's going to help you a lot. What do you think about sauerkraut? What are some of your favorite items in the game?
I like the sauerkraut. I like the grill. The grill's a fun one.
Yeah.
So all the enemies explode. That's always fun.
Actually, when it comes to upgrades, I have a bit of backstory for you. I think you might find interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So currently there is 23 different upgrades in the game. We used to have 25, and we cut back a little bit because some of them we just couldn't finish on
We
time.
did also add one last minute, so technically 26 total.
Technically, there was 26 planned items, and we had to scrap a few of them. The first item ever fully finished in the game was egg. And you can tell it's the first item that was ever finished because it was never balanced properly. Because it was always there, and we never thought about it. Because I finished it first, it was the easiest one, and then never thought about it again. And it's absolutely broken because in the shop, things have the rarities, and they come less rare depending on how high the rarity is.
Yeah.
Egg does not have that balancing. So you pick it. A legendary item is just as common as a common item.
Yeah.
So you pick it. It's
We
a
love
rare
that.
item.
So we grab the egg all the time, and we use that to grab legendaries. It's great.
The best part is you can get egg out of egg, which
3 items.
Well, it can stack way higher than that.
Yeah. So let's see what we get this time in the shop. We got soy sauce, guacamole, bacon. I think bacon's the best one,
We got an egg.
especially because you're getting high hit rates with the thing, with the ketchup carbine. You're gonna make sure you're proccing each of those shots with a high crit chance, and you're just gonna do it. Also, the potato bomb is hilarious because now for the rest of the game, you just have a little charming sound effect constantly, and I think it just adds more to the charm of the game because I just think it's hilarious, especially when you get more and more potatoes and the rate of fire just increases and it just drums your ear constantly. I think it's hilarious. I think it's actually a genius design decision. I think it was really funny.
Fun fact, actually, that was the item we added last minute. I think, what was that, like the day before the game was due? We added that last minute.
Yeah, like this man calls me up the night before. He's like, "Yo, I got an idea. You gotta do this," and I'm like, "Dude, it's tomorrow. What are you doing?" So I'm like, but I hear his idea and it's like, "Okay, I can do it in 5 minutes. Fine, I got you, bro." And then it's just like this came out of it, and I'm very happy with how it turned out, considering I spent 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, making the thing.
Yeah. So I do want to ask, how did you guys come up with the original idea for a game as charming as this?
That's mostly me and him.
Me and Vinny, during the GDW lecture, kind of just looked at each other.
And kind of knew.
And we were like, we want a food-based roguelike game.
Yeah.
And that's all we knew.
So you said the food-based. I wanted to do my idea was the wave-based, like, roguelike, I think. Yeah. Just because I
wanted to do roguelike as well.
Yeah. But James had told us, hey, we want your game to be, what was it, like 20 to 40 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's just make
James told you
infinite
20
game.
to 40 minutes of gameplay?
Something, I don't know. He
You're
told us a
sure
certain
about
amount of
that?
gameplay,
That's
and I
crazy.
said,
That's a
absolutely
crazy
not.
number. I don't think James said that. I feel like you guys misinterpreted what he said. 20 to 40 minutes of gameplay?
It might have been less. I don't know. I know he said something about how long your game should be, and I was
He
like,
might have
you know
said
what?
don't make it 20.
Yeah, I think he probably said 2 to 4 minutes of gameplay.
He said maximum 5 minutes.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said
That's
a
so
maximum
funny.
5
That's
minutes.
hilarious,
I
yeah.
probably should have been paying attention more.
Yeah, well, I love what this game is. I think it's a lot of fun, and I don't know if we're going to get to round 50 in time. I do notice that by the time you get to like round 30, there's so many audio triggers that are happening at once that the audio just begins to stop playing.
We have no idea why.
It's because you're running too many sound effects at once. Yeah, there's a limit to how many sound effects you can play at the same time. So you're just like, hey, we're just going to start turning off sound effects because these guys can't behave themselves.
It gets really funny because you'll hear constant explosions in your ear, and then the wave will end, and you'll just hear nothing for a little while.
Yeah.
And the game is like, oh, I was supposed to be playing music. My bad.
Also, want to point out part of the stylistic inconsistency is Gavin made us each make an animation for the game. Every one of us had to make our own animation, so there's very different styles you can see between them.
Like what? We see the explosions like a 2-frame.
It's 3 frames, actually.
3 frames.
But the thing is that...
By the way, the guy in the shop, I love the guy in the shop.
He's
The
just
guy in
he's
the
a
shop
fun guy.
is so charming. It's another piece of that unique charm that I love for this
really
game.
is the vibe.
It's so good.
That was a pretty last minute addition.
Huh?
Do you like the plant?
I've noticed the plant. I don't remember what the plant looks like right now, but I did notice the plant, and I thought it was funny when I was in the shop.
Low resolution middle plant.
I think that's really what it is. It's the fact that it's low resolution, right? That adds to that extra layer of like, oh, this is just like they know what the game is. They know the type of charm they're going for, and they managed to do it. The music, the visuals, even the gameplay, the theming. It's cohesive in a way that a lot of GameCon games aren't. And I think you guys should be really proud of the fact that you broke Lucas and I. How did you manage to build a game that is so basically exactly what we're looking for? It's incredible.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I can't see the plant on this TV, and I saw him just leave the shop in the last one, so we're going to have to catch the plant in the next one, but there's a plant here.
So,
yeah, there's middle plant.
The reason the plant is there, so that asset was initially made to add just much more smaller stuff around the map, like the lamppost, just to make it feel a little more together, like not just flat with random objects. And we got to the point I wanted to have something in the middle of the map, but we had a carousel we were going to put there. The file got corrupted, and I looked through our assets folder and saw a plant and said yes.
Carousel right there, dude.
Carousel right here. There was a different one that was going to go in the middle?
No, I don't know what it's called. No, that's a Ferris wheel. A Ferris wheel is like the horse thing that goes in a circle.
Okay.
Merry-go-round.
Yeah, they were both carousels. It was just like one's horizontal,
like
one's
sideways.
vertical.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, let's see this plant real quick. Where's the plant? There's a
It's in
plant.
the middle of the map. It's in the middle of the map.
Oh, that plant. No, so there's something else crusty in the shop.
I also believe that
Charming in the shop that I loved. Charming, that's the word I used. The macaroni, dude. Oh, you can't afford it.
Macaroni is one of my favorites. It's so good.
Macaroni's hilarious.
It was actually an epic item initially.
Oh, dude, you get the cheese.
But we actually dropped it down just because it's so fun to stack.
Yeah, I noticed you can stack a lot of them and they don't go over each other. I'm like, these guys spend development time because they know that macaroni is one of the funniest items in the game.
Oh, yeah.
So let's make sure that
You
it
get like
scales
8
up.
of them and they're like way all around.
Yeah.
I'd be testing something, then wake up like 20 rounds later, like, wait, I was supposed to be testing something specific.
Yeah. So this is a game you guys obviously made in a very small scale time, 4 months, right? But there's probably more that you guys wanted to do with this game. Are there any other things that you guys would have liked to add to the game that you think would have benefited it?
Bosses, oh yeah.
That's the one thing we noticed as well.
enemy types in general.
We had 2 enemy types, and we were like, oh man, the thing that was really holding this game back was a couple more enemy types and maybe a more dynamic environment as well. Right?
The original plan for the game actually was to have, was it like 4 enemy types?
I think
3?
We had 3.
3. We had 3, and then a boss of wave 20. You were never supposed to go beyond wave 20. And then people were just like, no, we're playing this game now. So during GameCon, I actually had to enforce an on-the-spot law.
Yeah.
You can't go beyond wave 40 because there was
Wait, 40 people were going to.
People were
Jesus
going to
Christ.
40?
People would sit at our booth for hours just playing our
people
game.
would sit there for like we got 8 people in like 2 hours because people were trying to go to wave 40. And
Which
like,
also reminds me, we knew we were on a good track early on because we kept hearing, it's hard to stop playing your game. I want to keep playing.
It really is. The thing that stopped us from continuing to play the game is that the game just kind of stops working after a certain point.
Yeah.
It can't
Some
handle.
optimization
It's
would be
because
good.
Well, no, it's not optimization. The modern computers just can't handle this level of sauce. But
100 years from now, this game is just going to be top of the charts.
exactly, yeah. It's
it
future
wasn't
proof.
designed to go beyond wave 20. That's why.
You know, we used to ask, can it run Crisis? It's, can it run Colonel Mustard and the Condiment Crew? Yeah. I don't remember the name of the game. I just know the name that I came up with for it.
That's fair.
Because I think that's just what Luke's and I were like, yeah, we're just going to come up with our own name for it. What is your name?
It's the Condiment King.
Condiment King.
With the sequel being The Fall of the Condiment Kingdom.
Yeah.
We're thinking of making games in the same world, so keep giving these name ideas to us.
Yeah, 'cause we have a lot of lore in this universe that we didn't get to explore in this game because we just ran out of time to make cutscenes.
So who's the shopkeeper?
So that actually was initially just from a scrapped item. We were gonna have the potato initially, why we had the asset laying around, it was gonna be one of the meme tier items.
Yeah.
It would spawn him beside the shop and have him doing a little jig, and the more you bought, the faster he would dance.
Sweet. Also, another wizard game, by the way.
Yeah, yes.
What's up with that?
It's just the Year of the Wizard.
There was no coordination. We just kind of thought John the Hot Dog Wizard was a funny name, and we rolled with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name's John. I didn't know that part of the lore.
Is it on like the itch page, or did I just my fake fan?
I think it's in the game description.
Yeah, it's in the game.
Pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a fake fan. My bad, guys.
Yeah.
But
bro thinks I can read.
Yeah. Dude, true Condiment Kingdom. True people of the Condiment Kingdom can't read. They spend all their money on food items, and they didn't spend it on education. So
I mean,
that's where
we
tax
use
money's
education,
going.
we have egg.
Yeah.
Egg.
All right. Well, I think that's probably all the time we have for our favorite game, Condiment King, and the Condiment Kingdom, as well as Colonel Mustard and the Condiment Crew. But thank you, developers of what the hell is your name, by the way? Baja Blast.
No, the team name is Blahaj. So I have an obsession with the IKEA shark, which is called a Blahaj.
Okay.
And we kind of just rolled with that.
Okay. I just didn't know how to pronounce. I was like, did they just do a funny spelling of Baja Blast?
Okay,
That's
James
what I
only
thought
pronounced
was.
it correctly twice, if it makes you feel better.
Okay, because I had to read it out, and I was like, the string of mustard by Baja Blast. Yeah. And so I was like, oh shit, I didn't even practice pronouncing this. Well, I think that's all we have time for today. That's the end of the GameCon Post-Show, I think. I don't think there's any other games to play.
No, we don't got no more.
You didn't make a game this year?
Victory.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually. Did you make a game this year?
I did. It was a VR game.
Oh, yeah, was it
dude.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it would be great if we could play your game. I'm sure it's supposed to be fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
really innovative.
Your game probably was really great, actually. Right?
My game was award-winning. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one, actually.
Yeah. Well, it was a VR game. It was a VR escape room. That's
Right,
what I made.
right, yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
award. No, I'm just kidding. My game was trash, dude. It was this VR escape room. No one liked it. We didn't win any awards. But anyways, jokes aside, hope you guys at home had a great time. We had a great time. Did you guys have a great time?
Oh yeah, this is fun.
We had a playing this game.
Honestly,
Go
I forgot
home,
that I needed to stop.
Play this game. Just play it. Just have fun. You'll lose 30 minutes of your life to the Condiment King, and you'll feel his eternal life. It'll be great. Again, that is all for us today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the GameCon Post-Show. Anyone else have any last words they want to say? Gaming. And that's us signing off. Take care. Bye.